Welcome back to my channel todays. We explore the value of specific coins, the valuable Abraham Lincoln 1 cent. So let's get started. First up, the 1993D. Abraham Lincoln. 1 cent coin is one of the most common modern U.S. pennies, but its value in today's coin market depends heavily on condition, preservation, and any possible mint errors. Most of these coins were produced in extremely large numbers at the Denver Mint, so the majority of circulated examples are still only worth face value, meaning 1 cent in everyday circulation. However, when a 1993D penny is found in extra fine condition, it becomes more interesting to collectors. Extra fine condition means the coin has been lightly circulated, but still retains most of its original details. The Lincoln portrait remains sharp, lettering is clear, and only minor wear appears on the highest points such as the cheek and wheat lines on older designs or the memorial details on the reverse. Even in this better condition, the base market value remains very low because the coin is not considered rare in normal circulation. In today's coin collecting market, a standard 1993D Lincoln cent in extra fine condition typically ranges from about 1 cent to around 50 cents. In some collector markets or bulk coin sales, it may reach up to $1 if it is very well preserved and has strong eye appeal with original red or red-brown coloring. Fully uncirculated versions in mint state condition can sometimes bring a few dollars, but still remain affordable and widely available. The real value increase in a 1993D penny comes only if the coin has special characteristics such as minting errors or unusually high grading quality. Certain error varieties like doubled dies, off-center strikes, or close AM reverse varieties can raise the value significantly compared to normal coins. In rare cases, top-graded specimens in near-perfect red condition have sold for hundreds or even a few $1,000s in auction records, but these are extremely uncommon exceptions. For most collectors and beginners, a 1993D Lincoln cent is considered a modern circulation coin rather than a high-value collectible. Its importance is more historical and educational, showing the design and minting style of early 1990s US pennies rather than acting as a high-value investment coin. So overall, if you find a 1993D Abraham Lincoln 1 cent in extra fine condition today, its market value is generally very low in dollars, but it can still be a nice addition to a beginner coin collection, especially if it is clean, well-struck, and free from damage or heavy wear. Next up, the 2001 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark is a modern coin that many people still overlook today, but collectors continue searching for high-quality examples because condition can make a major difference in value. Even though this coin was produced in huge numbers, not every example survived in attractive condition. Most were heavily used in circulation for years, leaving scratches, dull surfaces, and worn details. Because of that, cleaner examples in extra fine condition still attract interest from collectors building Jefferson nickel collections. When examining a 2001 P Jefferson nickel, the first thing collectors notice is the amount of remaining detail on the coin. In extra fine condition, Jefferson's hair should still show strong lines and texture. His cheek and jawline should appear sharp with only light wear visible on the highest areas. The reverse side featuring Monticello should also display clear architectural detail. The windows, columns, and lettering remain visible, while the steps at the bottom of the building may still show partial separation. A normal circulated 2001 P nickel found in pocket change is usually only worth 5 cents because of how common it is. However, an extra fine condition example can sell for around 25 cents to 75 cents, depending on eye appeal and overall quality. Coins with fewer scratches, stronger luster, and better surfaces are usually worth more to collectors. Some buyers pay extra for coins that appear close to uncirculated condition, even if they have slight wear. One important reason collectors search for this coin is the possibility of finding examples with strong strike quality. Strike quality refers to how clearly the coin design was impressed during production. Some 2001 P nickels show weak details on the steps of Monticello, while others display sharp and complete lines. Coins with fully visible steps are much more difficult to find and can carry significantly higher values. These are often separated from ordinary examples because collectors consider them premium quality pieces. Another factor that can increase value is the presence of mint errors. During production, mistakes sometimes happen that created unusual coins. Off-center strikes, doubled letters, die cracks, clipped planchets, or broad strike errors can make a common nickel far more valuable. Error. Collectors constantly search through rolls of nickels, hoping to discover these unusual pieces. Even small differences can attract attention if the error is clearly visible. The condition of the coin remains the most important factor for value. Many people accidentally damage their coins without realizing it. Cleaning a nickel with chemicals or cloth may make it appear shiny at first, but collectors usually avoid cleaned coins because the original surface becomes damaged. A naturally aged coin with original surfaces is normally worth more than a polished one. Proper storage also matters because moisture and rough handling can reduce value over time. Although millions of these nickels were produced, high-quality survivors become harder to find every year. Most examples spent years in circulation moving from one pocket to another, collecting damage along the way. Because of that, collectors often search bankrolls hoping to discover coins with sharp details and minimal wear. Some people have spent years hunting for cleaner examples to complete their Jefferson nickel collections. The Jefferson Nickels series itself has remained popular among collectors for decades. Many collectors enjoy the challenge of finding coins with better strikes and cleaner surfaces. Even modern dates like 2001 continue to receive attention because premium condition examples are not as common as many people think. Coins that appear ordinary at first glance can sometimes become valuable when they are preserved in exceptional condition. If you own a 2001 P. Jefferson nickel, it is important to inspect it carefully under bright lighting. Look closely at Jefferson's hair, the lettering around the coin, and the details on Monticello. Pay special attention to the steps because sharper steps usually increase collector interest. Coins with minimal scratches and strong natural color often bring the best prices. Many people ignore modern nickels because they believe only old coins can be valuable. However, condition rarity plays a major role in the coin market. A modern coin preserved in outstanding shape can sometimes become more desirable than an older coin in poor condition. That is why collectors continue checking their pocket change and searching coin rolls every day. In today's market, most extra fine examples of the 2001 P. Jefferson nickel remain affordable, but exceptional pieces can still command much stronger prices. High-grade coins with attractive surfaces and sharp details continue to attract attention from collectors who want the best possible examples for their collections. While ordinary circulated coins may only be worth face value, the right coin in the right condition can still become an exciting discovery for any collector. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin collecting content. See you! And next time, happy collecting! Next up, the 1983 Jefferson nickel, with the D mint mark, is one of the most common modern American coins ever made, and millions of these nickels were released into circulation from the Denver Mint, which means most examples found today in normal, dirty, circulated condition are usually only worth their face value of 5 cents. However, coin collectors still search for this date because a few rare high-grade examples and special full steps varieties have sold for much higher prices over the years. If you have a 1983D Monticello Jefferson nickel in regular circulated condition with scratches, dirt fading, and normal wear from years of use, then the value is normally between 5 cents and around 50 cents depending on how strong the details still look. Collectors usually pay more only when the coin has sharp steps visible on the Monticello building or when the surface still has strong mint luster without heavy damage. The obverse of the coin features Thomas Jefferson facing left, while the reverse shows the Monticello building with the words 5 cents and United States of America. Around 536 million of these nickels were produced in Denver during 1983, making them very easy to find in circulation even today. Most worn examples are not considered rare because they were heavily saved and widely circulated for decades, but uncirculated coins in mint state condition can still bring several dollars on the collector's market, especially if they are certified by grading services and have strong eye appeal. Rare full steps examples are much harder to locate because many 1983 nickels were weakly struck at the mint, which caused the steps on Monticello to appear flat or incomplete. Some collectors have paid over $100 for exceptional uncirculated full steps coins, and a few top-graded examples have sold for thousands at auction because of their rarity and near-perfect condition. But these are extremely uncommon and usually not found in pocket change. If your coin looks dirty, dark worn, or heavily circulated, then it is most likely a normal circulation piece worth close to its face value, but it can still be fun to keep because older Jefferson nickels continue to attract collectors who build date and mint mark collections. Searching through rolls of nickels can sometimes reveal stronger examples with better details or unusual mint errors that are worth much more than ordinary coins. Before selling any 1983D Jefferson nickel, it is important to check the steps on the reverse under good lighting and inspect the surfaces for possible mint errors, because certain rare varieties can surprise collectors with much higher values in today's coin market. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin collecting content. See you! And next time, happy collecting! Next up, the 1988. Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark is one of those coins that many people overlook every single day. Millions of these nickels passed through stores, banks, restaurants, and vending machines for years, which is why they still appear in circulation even today. Most people spend them without a second thought, but collectors know that certain examples can be worth more than face value depending on condition, strike quality, and overall appearance. The Philadelphia Mint produced an enormous number of 1988 nickels, with more than 700 million coins released into circulation. Because of this huge production total, the average worn example is still only worth 5 cents today. However, coins preserved in better condition continue attracting attention from collectors who search for cleaner and sharper examples. One important thing that affects value is the coin's condition. A heavily worn coin with scratches, discoloration, or faded details usually carries no premium at all. But when a 1988p Jefferson nickel survives in extra fine condition, collectors become much more interested. Extra fine means the coin still shows strong detail on Jefferson's hair, face, and coat, while the reverse side still displays clear lines on the Monticello building. There is some wear visible, but the coin still looks attractive overall. In today's market, a normal 1988p Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition is usually worth around 10 cents to 25 cents. Cleaner examples with brighter surfaces and fewer marks can sometimes sell closer to 50 cents or even $1. While that may not sound like a fortune, it is still many times higher than the coin's original face value. The biggest reason collectors search for better quality examples is because finding truly sharp coins from circulation is harder than most people think. Over the years, nickels pick up scratches, dents, fading, and damage from constant use. Coins that escaped heavy circulation are much more desirable because they preserve the original details from the day they were struck. Collectors especially pay attention to Jefferson's portrait on the front of the coin. The hair above the ear, the cheek area, and the jawline are usually the first parts to wear down. On a strong, extra fine coin, these details remain visible and sharp. The date and mint mark should also appear crisp and easy to read. The reverse side is equally important. The Monticello building should still show clear windows, columns, and roof lines. One of the most valuable features collectors look for is called full steps. These are the horizontal lines at the base of Monticello. Many coins lose these details because of weak strikes or circulation wear. If a 1988p nickel still shows full and uninterrupted steps, its value can rise dramatically. Some uncirculated examples with full steps have sold for hundreds of dollars because they are much scarcer than ordinary coins. Even though millions were produced, only a tiny number survived with perfect details and almost no marks. That is why collectors carefully inspect every Jefferson nickel they find. Another thing that can increase value is mint errors. During production, some coins were struck incorrectly, creating unusual varieties that collectors enjoy searching for. Off-center strikes, clipped planchets, double strikes, and die cracks are some of the errors that occasionally appear on 1988 nickels. Minor errors may only add a small premium, but stronger and more noticeable mistakes can become highly collectible. Some people believe every old nickel contains silver, but that is not true for the 1988 Jefferson nickel. This coin is made from a copper and nickel mixture, not silver. Its value depends mostly on rarity, condition, and collector demand instead of precious metal content. When examining one of these nickels, lighting makes a big difference. A coin may appear ordinary at first glance, but Under proper light, you may notice stronger details, original luster, or cleaner surfaces that improve its desirability. Many collectors use magnification to inspect the steps of Monticello and to search for possible minting errors. Cleaning the coin is something collectors strongly warn against. Many beginners try polishing old coins to make them shiny, but cleaning usually lowers value. Scratches and unnatural surfaces caused by cleaning can damage collector interest permanently. Even a rare coin can lose much of its value if it has been improperly cleaned. Storage also matters. Coins kept in dry and protected environments tend to survive much better than coins stored loosely in drawers or pockets. Moisture, fingerprints, and rough handling slowly damage the surface over time. That is why high-grade examples become harder to find after decades pass. Many collectors enjoy Jefferson nickels because they are affordable and easy to search through. Unlike expensive, rare coins that most people never encounter, Jefferson nickels still appear in everyday change. This creates excitement because anyone could potentially discover a better quality example without spending large amounts of money. The 1988p Jefferson nickel may not be one of the rarest coins ever made, but condition changes everything. A worn example might only be worth face value, while a beautifully preserved coin with strong details and full steps can attract serious collector attention. That possibility keeps collectors searching through rolls of nickels, old jars of coins, and pocket change every day. For people new to coin collecting, the 1988p nickel is a good example of how grading affects value. Two coins from the same year can have completely different prices simply because one survived in better condition than the other. Understanding wear, luster, strike quality, and surface preservation is an important part of the hobby. Even after decades, Jefferson nickels remain one of the most collected coins in America. Their long history, interesting varieties, and affordable prices continue attracting collectors of all experience levels. And while most 1988p nickels remain common, the search for cleaner and sharper examples continues to make this coin interesting in today's market. First up, 1,984 millions of Jefferson nickels were produced and released into circulation across the United States. At first glance, this coin may look ordinary, and most people would never think twice before spending it. But over time, collectors started paying closer attention to certain 1,984 nickels because a few rare examples became much more valuable than their face value. Today, many people search through old jars, wallets, and pocket change hoping to find one of these coins hiding in plain sight. The 1984 Jefferson nickel features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the front side of the coin. On the reverse side, the famous Monticello building appears with detailed architectural lines and steps. The coin was made using a mixture of copper and nickel and has a smooth edge instead of ridges. Even though it is a common coin, certain details can make one example far more valuable than another. One important thing collectors notice is the condition of the coin. A normal, dirty, circulated 1984 nickel without a mint mark is usually worth only around 5 cents to 15 cents in today's market. Coins that have heavy wear, dark color, scratches, fading, stains, or weak details are considered common because they spent many years moving through circulation. These are the types of coins most people still find in pocket change today. However, not every 1984 nickel is equal. Some coins survived in much better condition than others. If a coin still has strong shine, clear details, and very little wear, collectors may pay more money for it. Uncirculated examples can sometimes sell for several dollars, especially if the surfaces remain clean and original. Higher grade pieces become harder to find because most nickels from the 1980s were heavily used in daily transactions. One feature that attracts serious collectors is known as full steps. This refers to the steps visible on the Monticello building on the reverse side of the coin. On many nickels, these steps appear weak or blended together because of poor striking during production. But on rare examples, all the steps remain sharp and clearly separated. These coins are more difficult to find and can sell for much higher prices than normal examples. Another reason a 1984 Jefferson nickel can become valuable is because of mint errors. Mint errors happen when something unusual occurs during the coin-making process. Some coins may be struck off-center, while others may show double images or missing details. Certain error nickels from 1984 have sold for impressive amounts because collectors enjoy unusual coins that look different from regular circulation pieces. Some collectors also search for coins with strong luster and original color. Even if a coin has no rare error, a bright and well-preserved example may still attract buyers. Coins stored carefully for decades sometimes survive in much better condition than average pocket change. These pieces are more desirable because they show what the coin originally looked like when first released. Many people become excited when they hear stories about rare coins selling for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. While most 1,984 nickels remain inexpensive, there are always a few special examples that stand out. The challenge is knowing exactly what to look for. Tiny differences in condition, strike quality, and errors can completely change the value of a coin. Collectors often examine Jefferson nickels under magnification to check for rare varieties or unusual details. They pay close attention to the lettering, the portrait, and the Monticello steps. Sometimes a small mistake during production can turn an ordinary coin into a collectible item worth serious money. The interesting thing about coin collecting is that valuable coins can still appear in everyday circulation. Someone might unknowingly spend a collectible nickel at a store, while another person could discover one hidden in an old family coin jar. This treasure hunting aspect is one reason coin collecting remains popular around the world. If you have a 1,984 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark in normal dirty condition, it is most likely worth close to face value today. But checking carefully is always important because rare varieties and high-grade examples do exist. Even a small difference can separate a common 5-cent coin from a collectible piece worth much more. Many collectors recommend looking for clear details, unusual markings, strong steps on Monticello, and signs of minting errors. Coins with these characteristics attract more attention in the market. The better the condition and the rarer the feature, the higher the possible value becomes. Over the years, Jefferson nickels have become one of the most searched coins by beginner collectors because they are affordable and easy to find. Unlike extremely rare coins that almost nobody owns, these nickels still appear in circulation, making the search more exciting for everyday people. The 1,984 Jefferson nickel reminds collectors that even common-looking coins can hold surprises. A simple 5-cent piece sitting unnoticed in a drawer today could become an interesting collectible tomorrow. That is why people continue checking their change, hoping to discover a hidden treasure among ordinary coins. Next up, the 1,979 Jefferson nickel. Without a mint mark is one of the most common coins still found in circulation today, and many people ignore these coins because they look old, dirty, and worn out. But some collectors still search through jars and pocket change hoping to find a valuable example hiding among ordinary coins. This coin features Thomas Jefferson on the front side and the famous Monticello building on the back side, and millions upon millions of these nickels were produced for everyday use across the United States during 1979. A lot of people become confused when they see a 1,979 nickel without a mint mark because they think the missing mint mark automatically makes the coin rare and valuable, but that is not true. In 1,979 nickels made in Philadelphia normally had no mint mark at all, so finding one without a mint mark is completely normal. Most of these coins in dirty circulated condition are only worth around 5 cents, which is their face value, but there are still certain situations where a collector may pay more depending on the condition and appearance of the coin. When a 1,979 Jefferson nickel has been heavily used for many years, it usually develops scratches, dark surfaces, faded details, and worn edges. Coins like this are called circulated coins because they spent years moving from hand to hand in stores, banks, and everyday transactions. A dirty circulated example usually has very little collector value because millions survived in similar condition. However, some collectors still keep older nickels because they enjoy building date collections or searching for hidden mint errors. One important thing collectors check on this coin is the condition of Jefferson's face hair and cheek area on the front side. If those details still appear sharp and clean, then the coin may be in better condition than average. Another important area is the steps of the Monticello building on the reverse side. Coins showing full clear steps are harder to find because many nickels were weakly struck during production. A coin with strong visible steps and very little wear can become much more desirable to collectors. Sometimes people discover rare mint errors on 1,979 Jefferson nickels, and these errors can increase the value dramatically. Some examples include doubled letters, numbers appearing off center clipped edges, or unusual strike mistakes. These rare errors are not common, but collectors search for them carefully because certain error coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on rarity and condition. That is why many coin hunters inspect every older nickel before spending it. Another important factor affecting value is grading. A normal dirty coin found in circulation usually remains close to face value, but coins stored carefully for decades without scratches or damage can become collectible. Uncirculated examples with shiny surfaces and strong details are much harder to find because most 1,979 nickels entered circulation immediately after production. High-grade examples can sometimes sell for surprisingly high prices at auctions, especially if they show excellent quality and eye appeal. Many people online claim every old coin is rare, but collectors know that age alone does not guarantee value. A 1979 Jefferson Nickel is over 40 years old now, but because so many were made, the majority are still very common. The real value depends on condition, rarity, and possible mint errors, rather than simply being old. This is why two coins with the same date can have completely different prices in the collector market. Many people online claim every old coin is rare, but collectors know that age alone does not guarantee value. A 1979 Jefferson Nickel is over 40 years old now, but because so many were made, the majority are still very common. The real value depends on condition, rarity, and possible mint errors, rather than simply being old. This is why two coins with the same date can have completely different prices in the collector market. If you have a 1979 nickel without a mint mark, the best thing to do is examine it carefully under bright light. Look closely at the lettering, numbers, edges, and the Monticello steps. If the coin appears unusual or much sharper than normal, then it may deserve closer inspection. Even though most circulated examples are only worth face value, there is always excitement in searching because valuable varieties and errors can still occasionally appear in old collections or pocket change. Coin collecting remains popular because ordinary-looking coins sometimes turn out to have hidden value, and many collectors enjoy the thrill of discovering something special. The 1979 Jefferson nickel may look like a simple everyday coin, but for collectors it still represents an interesting part of American coin history and a reminder that valuable discoveries can sometimes be hiding in the most unexpected places. Next up. Back in 1998, millions of Jefferson nickels were produced with the D mint mark at the Denver Mint, but even today collectors continue searching through pocket change, hoping to find one special example worth much more than 5 cents. Most people never pay attention to modern nickels because they think only very old coins can become valuable, but that is not always true. A 1998 Jefferson nickel in good condition can sometimes surprise collectors, especially if it has sharp details, clean surfaces, or rare minting characteristics that make it stand out from ordinary circulation coins. The front of the coin features Thomas Jefferson facing left with the word Liberty beside him and the date 1998 visible on the front. On the reverse side, you can see the famous Monticello building along with the small D mint mark that tells collectors the coin was made in Denver. Even though the design looks simple, collectors pay very close attention to small details that can greatly affect the value. Most 1998 D Jefferson nickels found in circulation today are worth only face value or slightly higher because so many were produced. A heavily worn coin with scratches, fading, and damage may only sell for a few cents above its original value. However, a cleaner example in good condition with less wear and stronger details can sometimes sell for a higher premium to collectors who want better quality coins for their collections. One of the most important things collectors search for on this coin is something called full steps. If you look closely at the steps beneath the Monticello building on the reverse side, you may notice that some coins show weak or blurry lines, while others show all the steps clearly separated. Coins with fully visible steps are much harder to find because many were weakly struck during production or became worn quickly after entering circulation. A 1998 D nickel with strong, full steps details in high-grade condition can become far more valuable than ordinary examples, and in some cases, collectors have paid hundreds of dollars for extremely sharp coins. Condition is everything in the coin collecting world. Two coins from the same year can have completely different values, simply because one was preserved better than the other. A coin that still has original shine, strong lettering, fewer scratches, and clear details will always attract more attention from buyers. Collectors carefully inspect Jefferson's hair, the windows on Monticello, the edges of the coin, and even tiny marks across the surface before deciding how valuable a coin may be. Another reason some 1998D nickels become valuable is because of mint errors. During the coin production process, mistakes sometimes happen accidentally, and these unusual errors can create rare collectible coins. Some nickels may have doubled letters or numbers while others may appear off-center or struck incorrectly. There are also clipped planche errors where part of the coin looks missing because the metal blank was cut improperly before striking. These mistakes are uncommon, and collectors often pay large amounts for dramatic examples because each error coin becomes unique. Many people spend rare coins every day without realizing what they have. Jefferson nickels are especially ignored because they still look modern and common. That is why collectors always recommend checking older nickels carefully before using them for everyday purchases. Sometimes a coin sitting unnoticed in a jar, drawer, or pocket can turn out to be worth much more than expected. The metal composition of the 1998 Jefferson nickel includes copper and nickel, giving the coin its familiar silver appearance. Unlike older silver coins, this nickel does not contain precious silver, which means most of its value depends on rarity, condition, and collector demand instead of metal content. Even so, high-quality modern coins continue becoming harder to find as years pass because many coins become damaged through circulation. Collectors also use grading systems to determine coin values. A circulated coin in average good condition may only have a small premium, while uncirculated examples with almost no wear can become much more desirable. Professional grading can sometimes increase buyer confidence because it confirms the authenticity and condition of the coin. Some collectors search for rolls of old nickels, hoping to discover one hidden high-grade example that others overlooked. The Jefferson Nickel series has remained popular for decades because it is affordable and still possible to find collectible examples in circulation. Many beginners start with nickels because they are easier to collect than expensive gold or silver coins. Over time, certain dates and varieties become harder to locate, especially in top condition. The 1998D Jefferson nickel may not seem rare at first glance, but exceptional examples continue attracting attention from serious collectors across the market. If you ever find a 1998 Jefferson nickel with bright surfaces, sharp Monticello steps, clean edges, and very little wear, it may be worth saving instead of spending. Rare condition examples and unusual mint errors can sometimes bring surprisingly high prices compared to ordinary circulation coins. That is why collectors continue searching through change every single day, hoping to discover the next hidden treasure hiding in plain sight. Next up, the 2002 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark is one of those modern American coins that many people ignore every single day without realizing that certain examples can still attract attention from collectors. Even though this coin is common in circulation, collectors continue searching through old jars, bankrolls, and pocket change, hoping to find high-quality pieces that stand out from ordinary circulated nickels. The coin was produced at the Denver Mint in 2002 and carries the traditional Monticello design that had been used for decades. On the front of the coin, Thomas Jefferson appears facing left, while the reverse side features the famous Monticello building. For many collectors, this design represents one of the final classic years before major design changes arrived later in the decade. Now, when it comes to value, most 2002D Jefferson nickels found in fine condition are not extremely rare. A typical circulated example usually sells for only a small amount above face value. In today's coin market, most fine condition coins are worth around 5 to 20 cents, depending on the overall condition, color, and detail remaining on the surfaces. Fine condition means the coin has visible wear from circulation, but important details can still be seen clearly. Jefferson's hair and facial features will show smoothness from use, while the Monticello building on the reverse may have worn lines and softer details. If the coin has deep scratches, corrosion, stains, or damage, collectors usually avoid paying extra money for it. However, not every 2002D nickel is the same. Some examples become far more valuable because of condition rarity. Coins that still have original mint luster, sharp edges, and clean surfaces can move into higher collector grades. Uncirculated examples are much harder to find because most of these nickels entered circulation immediately after production and experienced years of everyday use. One important feature collectors watch for is known as full steps. This refers to the staircase at the bottom of the Monticello building on the reverse side. If all the steps are fully visible and sharply struck without interruptions, the coin becomes much more desirable. High-grade full-steps nickels from 2002 can sometimes sell for impressive amounts compared to ordinary circulated examples. Another reason collectors examine these coins carefully is the possibility of mint errors. While most 2002D nickels are normal, a few unusual pieces escaped into circulation with mistakes made during the minting process. Some collectors search for off-center strikes where the design appears shifted to one side. Others look for doubled lettering, die cracks, clipped planchets, or weak strikes. Error coins can sometimes sell for significantly higher prices depending on how dramatic and rare the mistake is. Many people think older coins automatically mean valuable coins, but that is not always true. Rarity, condition, demand, and eye appeal are what truly determine value. Since millions of 2002D nickels were produced, most circulated examples remain very common today. That is why collectors focus heavily on quality when deciding whether a coin deserves premium value. If you look closely at your coin under bright light, you may notice small details that matter to collectors. Coins with fewer contact marks, cleaner surfaces, and stronger strikes usually attract more interest. Even the color of the nickel can affect appeal. Some collectors prefer coins with bright silver surfaces, while others enjoy naturally toned examples that developed color over time. Storage is also important for preserving value. Many older nickels lose their quality because they were stored loosely in drawers, jars, or pockets where scratches and damage occurred over many years. Collectors who find cleaner examples often place them in protective holders immediately to prevent further wear. The interesting thing about Jefferson nickels is that they remain one of the most affordable series for beginner collectors. Because many dates are still easy to find, people enjoy searching through circulation, hoping to discover hidden gems worth more than face value. Even though the 2002D nickel is not considered extremely rare, searching for high-grade examples and unusual errors still makes it exciting for collectors. Some collectors also build complete Jefferson nickel albums covering every year and mint mark. In these collections, even common coins are important because they help complete the set. That steady collector demand is one reason circulated examples still maintain a small premium above face value in better condition. Another factor affecting value is grading. Professional grading services carefully examine coins and assign numerical grades based on surface preservation and strike quality. A coin graded at the highest mint state levels can sometimes sell for surprisingly high amounts because very few survive in nearly perfect condition. Most circulated 2002D nickels, however, remain in lower grades due to years of use in commerce. When checking your own coin, pay attention to the edges, lettering, and overall sharpness. Strong details on Jefferson's hair and clear lines on Monticello can help identify a better quality example. If the coin appears unusually shiny with almost no wear, it could be worth setting aside for further inspection. Although ordinary fine condition examples are generally inexpensive, coin collecting is still full of surprises. Rare errors, exceptional strikes, or nearly perfect preserved examples can transform an ordinary-looking nickel into something much more valuable to collectors. That is why millions of people continue checking old coins carefully instead of spending them immediately. So if you own a 2002 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark in fine condition, the realistic market value today is usually only slightly above face value. But if the coin shows outstanding quality, rare minting errors, or sharp full steps details, the value could rise far beyond what most people expect from a simple 5-cent coin. Next up, the 1990 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin without mint mark and its real value in today's market, especially when the coin is in circulated condition. The 1990 Lincoln cent is part of one of the most widely produced coin series in history. Billions of these coins were made for everyday use, which is why most people still find them in pocket change, old jars, or drawers even today. Because of such a high production number, this coin was never meant to be rare or highly valuable in normal conditions. When you see a 1990 penny without a mint mark, it simply means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. This is completely normal. Many United States coins from Philadelphia do not carry a mint mark, especially in this era. So the absence of a letter does not indicate any error or special variety. It is just part of the standard production process. Now, let's talk about condition, because condition plays a very important role in coin value. A circulated coin means it has been used in daily life. It may show scratches, fading, dull color, slight damage, or wear on Lincoln's portrait and the wheat details on the reverse side. In this state, the coin is considered normal circulation quality. For a 1,990 Lincoln cent without mint mark in circulated condition, the value in today's market remains at face value. That means it is worth 1 cent. There is no significant collector premium attached to it because the coin is extremely common and easy to find. Even if you go to coin shops or collectors, they will generally not pay more than face value for a circulated example. The reason is simple. Supply is extremely high, and demand for normal condition examples is very low. Almost everyone already has multiple pieces of this coin without even trying. However, condition can slightly change the value if the coin is in better shape. If the penny is uncirculated, meaning it was never used in daily transactions and still has strong original shine, it might be worth a little more. In such cases, the value could reach a few cents to maybe $1 or $2 depending on how perfect the surface is. But even then, it is not considered a rare or high-value coin. The only time a 1,990 Lincoln cent becomes truly valuable is when it has a minting error or rare variety. Examples include double die errors, off-center strikes, or unusual metal mistakes. These are not common and must be verified carefully. Without such special features, the coin remains a standard issue penny. So, if you are holding a 1,990 Abraham Lincoln 1 cent coin without mint mark in circulated condition, you should understand that it is a regular coin still used for its original purpose. Its value in the current market is simply 1 cent, and it is not considered a rare collectible. In conclusion, this coin is more historically interesting than financially valuable in normal condition. It represents everyday American coinage from the 1,990 ye, and unless it shows something unusual or is in perfect uncirculated state, it will remain a common penny with minimal market value.